following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the August 23rd Turnaround Tuesday. Maybe it's Turnaround Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we're going to go look at the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Now is not too soon. 877-927-6648. Of course, internationally, 727-445-1044. We'd love to hear from you, no matter how near, how far away you may be. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is the Hotel California, sponsored by Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Right now, the Dow is up 28 points at 18,557. S&P is up 6 at 2188. NASDAQ Composite up 17 points. She's trading at 52.62. Russell 2000 up 9 points, trading at 12.48. The DAX closed up 98 points. The FTSE up 40. Gold is up $2. Silver's up 5 pennies. Light sweet crude is up 63 cents. Lead the charge here to the upside. It is Tableau Software Data, DATA, happens to be the ticker symbol. That's up 7%, about $7, about 13%. Nordson, not Nordstrom's, but Nordson, NDSN, is up 7.75%, about $7 and change. Best Buy is up 18%, up $6. American Woodmark Company, they're up 8%, nearly 8%, up about $6. To the downside, it is Smucker's. JM Smucker is getting jammed to the downside, down about $13, about 8% is what it's off. Zoe's Kitchen down 18%. That's off nearly $7. Tesaro, TSRO, ticker symbol, down about $6 and 6%. So we've got some equities to certainly take a look at. But what should we look at first? Really interesting market out here. Let's go see at 1:09 p.m. That's the time that I have on my ticker. Let's go see whether it is the bulls or the bears that are leading the charge out here. We take a look at the advanced decline oscillator out here. And inside the New York Stock Exchange, it is really just below zero. So very interesting. If you take a look, that's a low left-hand panel here. I'll go ahead and blow it up on my chart here. Here is the New York Stock Exchange. That candle, both a bullish and a bearish sign. The candle right now, if we were to close the session, it is a shooting star. But we also had a gap up. So you've got one bearish signal, one bullish signal. Really sounds a lot like the markets here over the course of the last several weeks, as we have really been trading sideways. New York Stock Exchange, just as an example, been trading in essence sideways since July 14th. It is now August, 23rd. That is quite a sideways type move out here. And, you don't know whether it's the bulls or the bears in control. And just like today's candle session inside the New York Stock Exchange, you don't really know who is in control, the bulls or the bears out here. Inside the NASDAQ Composite, it's giving us a little bit of a breathing sign of that the market's coming off life support and that it wants to move to higher ground. It's advanced decline oscillator currently above zero. I don't know how it's going to end the day. Inside the Dow, it is also below zero. So we're going to say 2 to 1, right? 2 out of 3 are saying it's still sellers that are in control of the market. How can that be? Well, let's go see what the markets are actually doing on a shorter term time frame. And they happen to give us those signals that, is a nice move to the upside that we saw here this morning. We can take a look at the NQ. That happens to be the 30-minute time frame that we're looking at. Here's what we know. We know that it completed an A to B equals CD to the upside. did about a 1-to-1, started to back off a bit, and then said, I want to go just a little bit higher, tried to get up to the 1-to-1.272, and it said, I really want to do that because I want to take a seventh inning stretch. I want to make that seventh wave move to the upside. That's what it's done. Then we have seen the market start to push back and sell off a bit here. Is this going to continue to move to the downside? I'm not certain just yet, but we'll go take a look at it, see if we can figure that out. It has friends. When I say it has friends, I'm referring to the NQ, and I'm referring to that seventh wave move because what the ES Mini did was it made a seventh wave move down here. This is, let me get my cursor for you, and that's down on the trading session about 12 noon on August the 17th. Makes that seventh wave move, makes a seventh wave move to the upside out here at about 4 p.m. on August the 18th, makes a retracement that went ahead and gave us our C point of the A to B equals CD, which had a price projection of 21.9150. The actual high when that seventh wave move session came in was 21.9150. As I've said many times before, we really just use this as a guideline, but it still never ceases to amaze me when it actually hits it right, in this case here, to the tick. That also happens to be wave number 7 to the upside. What's the market doing? It is beginning to pull back. So we'll take a look at some different levels out here. I don't know that today's action is going to be any different, quite frankly, than yesterday's action, the day before that. We can go back all the way until, as we said, inside the NQ, till about, what's it, the NQ? The New York Stock Exchange, until about July the 14th out here. Now, what else was going on as prices were moving higher this morning? Well, inside the NQ, interesting that you should ask. As we take a look at the 5-hour chart inside the NQ, speaking of seventh wave moves, speaking of moving higher with less relative energy out here, that's exactly what that 5-hour energy drink chart that is sponsored by, who does it? Is it just called 5-hour energy drink? I think it might be. They're the sponsors of this 300-minute chart out here. And what the NQ did was formed a seventh wave. Now, this candle session that we're in right now doesn't complete until 2 p.m., so we've got another 47, 46 and a half minutes or so by my count out here, but who's counting? But then really you need a confirmation, which means not until we go into this afternoon's close will we know if this is wave number 7. What we do know is that the push higher on a bit of a longer-term chart out here, moving higher, doing less relative energy. Now, the bullish side of this is as price moved higher and pulled back here this afternoon, really, I should say, price was testing that oscillator unchanged line right about the 48.16 level. So in order for the markets to move lower, we're going to need to see that level crack and fail. Remember when we looked at the 30-minute charts? You posed the question to me, well, are the markets going to move lower? The answer is, if in fact we can see the NQ close below 48.16, then the answer will be, yeah, probably. Then the next question is going to be, or you should be asking that question, well, Steve, then where is it the markets will pull back to? And the answer is 47.93 if you pay attention to the NQ contract. Why do I say that? Well, take a look at this chart out here. Take a look at the black dashed line. The blue dashed line happens to be the bottom of the TAS market profile. We can see how that level has acted as PS de resistance. Actually, it's been support, not resistance. What was I thinking? I was thinking of a little foie. That's what I was thinking. Should be thinking it. It's already past lunchtime. 47.93 ought to be final support for the NQ. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 33. S&P is up 6.5 out here. I have a request to go take a look at light sweet crude. So let's do that. What we know right now, there's a possibility, and I do mean a slight possibility. Well, let's take away the A to B equals CD pattern because, well, here's what light sweet crude did yesterday. I did this as a segment on Tom's show last night. Maybe you didn't hear it, which is certainly cool. If you didn't, but here's what light sweet crude did. Let me get rid of. Give me just a moment to do this. Let me see if I can. I'm going to probably have to rebuild it. Such is life. Such is life out here. So let's just go through the rebuilding process out here. Okay. So what we know about light sweet crude on this bounce here to the upside did a couple of things. Did a number of things. One of the things that it did was it completed an A to B equals CD pattern. And what you'll see here is this formed about a 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD to the upside. Now, why can I say that? I can say that with conviction because what occurred on the way up, it didn't complete a 1-to-1, didn't do a 1 to 1.272. The reason why I did the 1 to 1.618, or I will say that, is because that is when the cavalry arrived. That's when the bearish reversal signal formed. Right here yesterday, what is referred to as a three-river evening star. Takes 3 candles, in this case here, it can take more, but takes 3 candles in order for that to form. So that's at the end of the A to B equals CD. Now, this also happens to be a Gartley pattern. This is a Gartley sell. One, because we had a nice move from the low, or from the high out here on June 9th down to the low out here on August the 3rd. Nice move to the downside, 53 to 39 bucks out there. Percentage-wise, I don't know, what is that, about 15? No, 53, 43, it's about 23%, 24, and that's just off the top of my head. Not really good to take it off the top of my head, but that's all I've got at the moment out here. So I think it's a fairly sizable move to the downside. And what HM said to us in his pamphlet, his book out there, was that you want to go ahead and sell, when you've missed a move, in essence, in one direction or the other, you want to go ahead and sell, in this case here, because it was a downside, sell that first A to B equals CD. Now, many people might say you try to sell the 1-to-1. I say don't do that. Put the probability on your side. And in this case here, that was really yesterday. Now, what you're seeing today, and every A to B equals CD pattern, every Gartley pattern has but it has 5 different outcomes. And outcome number 1 is really what it is that we're taking a look at right now. And that's really 0.382 retracement. That's outcome number one of the A to D leg, of the low of the A to B equals CD point to the high, which would be the D point out here. So that says price should, I do say should because we never have any guarantees on that, but it should go ahead and target 45.77. Now, the question is today's candle session anything bullish or not? No. What is happening today inside of the, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this retracement level out here. So we know our target, 45.77. What is light sweet crude doing so far today? It is running right into resistance, potential resistance, which is the top of the weekly TAS market profile, 48.06. We're traded at 48.07. You can't get too much closer to resistance than that. So that is a level. I believe Brent in Martinez, California is probably listening. Brent, I'd say you want to be paying attention to this 48.06 level if you're still on the short side of this trade out here, because if we do see a close above that, depending on where it would close, then you could easily see a run to 49.36. You know, so consider that. And I cannot rule that out. The other thing you want to pay attention to is I like to combine candles out here. And what I mean by that is when you get a bullish or bearish reversal signal, I like the next day's session to confirm what it was that we just learned the day before out here. We like to have confirming evidence, as if you and I are detectives, which we are. We're detectives of these markets. That's why we go ahead and we utilize these patterns so we know what their typical outcome is, right? When you know a pattern, then it makes it a little bit easier to trade. And when we look for confirming evidence, what we like to see is the character, right? Always like to see character retain itself. Well, no different when we take a look at that candlestick chart, and you want to see that character maintain itself. And if the light sweet crude, what you do here is somebody who's got a calculator. All right, that'll be me. I'll sign up for it. I don't have a calculator, but I'm going to open one up here, and we're going to just do this. So the high of yesterday, I'm going to give you the exact price. Not the high, the open of yesterday, that's what I'm looking at, 49.02. And the close of yesterday, 47.41. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sum up the two of those, and then I'm going to find out, and I'm going to divide that by 2. And then what I'm going to do is figure out the exact price level where the today's closing session must close below in order to retain the character of that evening star pattern. And the number is, Johnny, drum roll, please, 48.22. I didn't even wait for Johnny to give us that drum roll, nor do we have a Johnny that could give us a drum roll. So it's 48.21. If you see it close above 48, we'll call it 22 because it's really 48.215. So let's round it up. If you see it close above 48.22, it starts to deteriorate the reversal signal that you and I were looking at. Says, you know, maybe this thing does want to go back and test that high out here. So be watching that pattern out here. Still, what we know in effect today, the evidence right now in front of us is we have a reversal signal. It's maintained its character. We've seen it bounce up to a level of resistance at 48.06, and price then ought to go ahead and make that move down to that 0.382 retracement level. The real number to be watching inside of light sweet crude. I think I've got the continuous contract. I know I do. It should still be okay. It should be okay. And that is Stevie's red line. That's the oscillator and change line, 45.56. That's the level. Should light sweet crude continue to move south, that's the level you want to be watching for, because if price gets below that, then that says you've got outcomes number 3, 4, and 5 likely up on your list. And that's the 0.618 to 0.786, and maybe that A to B equals CD to the downside that we looked at. But you got to take this one piece of information at a time. Okay, now let's go take a look at, so that was light sweet crude. Is there anything for us to really look at inside of Goldilocks? And the answer is basically, nah, I don't think so. But let's go look at it anyways, because I know there's going to be some questions, or there should be some questions. And that is, if we take a look at light sweet crude, just more sideways action. You talk about sideways. Talk about sideways crazy. Since June 27th, in essence, we have been trading sideways inside of Goldilocks out here. So it's trading below its daily TAS market profile. Does that really mean a whole hell of a lot of beans right now? Nah, it means something, but I'm not giving it a huge weight of evidence and information out here. Just a sideways, boring-ish kind of trade out here. I wouldn't jump into it to the long side for sure, but just there's not a whole lot to really report out here. Fluff and stuff. If we take a look at silver, you've heard it many times before, or maybe you haven't heard it many times before. Maybe you've never even heard it. What did silver do yesterday? Well, yesterday completed a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the downside. Is there any signal that that's going to be the end of the move? The answer is no. You don't have any kind of reversal signal or anything. So where would light sweet crude head to? Not light sweet crude. We already talked about that. Where would silver head to next? And I would say 18. What did I say? 18? I'd say 1855. 1855 to 1835 would likely be the next move in silver, unless the cavalry arrives, which they have not yet on any time frame. Whether it's a 30-minute, 10-minute, 40-minute. Not that we look at 40 minutes. We could look at a 40-minute chart if you were so inclined, though. We've got the Dow up 42. S&P is up 7. Give us a call, folks. Let me know what you want to look at. I'll go look at my phone, see if there's any email requests sent to Steve at TFNN.com. Hope you're ready.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
welcome back. Only one request coming in thus far, and that was to ask me if I would go ahead and I got another one. Rich, got yours too. So we've got two now in the queue. You got to love it. Thanks for listening, and thanks for sending in requests. So the first was to take a look at the 30-year Treasury out here. It didn't indicate whether the individual was long or short. So we'll just go take a look at it. We're going to look at the September contract, 30-year contract out here. And here's what we know. We can see that there was an A to B equals CD to the upside. You say, see what? I don't see it. Oh, here, let me show it to you. We're going to start with the swing point down here from April 26th. That's your A point. Your B point out here looks like on June the 16th makes a retracement of about 4 or 5 trading sessions down into June 24th. What we can see here is there was a price projection of 177.43 out here. Price got nearly up to that level. But we know that that pattern completed when we got that nice old bearish engulfing signal on July the 11th. Then in the very next day, you had that follow through, right? Just like we would prefer to see in the case of light sweet crude, if we are so inclined to want to see light sweet crude go to the downside. You want to see some follow through. That's what you saw inside the 30-year Treasury. Now that follow through led to lower price down here in the trading session of July 21st. And so far, prices really just kind of traded somewhat sideways-ish. But what we do know is that the price oscillator is turned down. That happens to be the bottom panel of my chart out here. Now, on the trading session of July 12th, I can tell you would really need to have a really, really good eye to have known that the price oscillator is turned down. Why is that important? Well, when you see a price oscillator turn down, that's your first sign that you might be seeing some type of retracement or correction. You know which it's going to be, if it's going to be. But it then tells you that, okay, that short-term moving average is starting to overtake the longer-term moving average. And for me, it's just much easier to look at on a screen. One line, that's it. I know what's going on with the price oscillator. I can take a look at all the other screens out here or the other tools out here. The reason is because, when price starts to pull back, you're not sure, hey, does it have any meaning to it? As long as the price oscillator is rising, you're in some type of pattern where you've cleared resistance. No, just the normal breathing pattern inside of the market. Well, what did the 30-year Treasury try to do today? It tried to take out that oscillator unchanged line. It tried to turn it up. What happened? It failed. I can't tell you why it works. It's just simply because the bulls and bears know what happens when they lose that tug of war. And so one side is going to fight harder than the others. In this case here, on the 30-year Treasury, it is the sellers that are fighting hard, trying to keep it to the downside out here. So not until we see it close above that. Now, to the extent that you believe that there's a correlation, which, sometimes I believe it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes you feel like it not. Sometimes you don't. In this case here, if you believe there's a correlation to the stock market and you want it to go down, then maybe you want to see bonds go to the upside. But, let's face it. Does that correlation really hold water? Hey, look, on June 24th, when bonds moved to the upside, so did the market. It's continued moving the upside while bonds just kind of move sideways, so to speak, right? In any event, so that really with regard to bonds, again, I don't know if you're long or if you're short. What you do know is you've got that Stevie line of demarcation. And right now, this is telling us that it is sellers that have control, but they're not really exerting, their triceps and biceps out here. But they do have control. Okay, that was question number one. I hope I answered your question. If not, just go ahead and write back, and I'll try to go ahead and do it. How long will it go? GDX dust. How low will it go? So, Rich, let's go try to find it out. How low will the GDX go? I think really that's all. Let's do this. Let's put the GDX up on this screen right here. Let's just use the same tool out here. Windows 10, Windows Shmen. I tell you, folks, I upgraded. I finally did do that upgrade to Windows 10 by the end of probably end of July, end of whenever it was out there. And you've seen me have system problems here. Some days the camera works, and I can actually, of course, that's probably not a bonus, but some days the camera works, and other days it doesn't. And just today, I rebooted the system, so hopefully things would be really smooth sailing out here during the show. And I go to boot up and log in, and the camera's not working. And then I get everything all set, and I go ahead and pull the plug out of one of the USB ports, try it and plug it into another to give that a shot out there. And voila, it's working. I know, but unfortunately for you, it's working out there. But nonetheless, it's Windows. And I see other things. It's just crazy. Then, of course, I did. Remember, I have had the system go down, have called in on the telephone. I said, it just seems like a Skype problem. So this weekend, I went ahead and David White, he suggested that I go ahead and upgrade to that anniversary edition. But before I did, I went ahead and just kind of Googled, searched, really. What kind of terminology I Googled. But I went ahead and searched on the Windows 10 Anniversary Edition to see what problems there were. And, man, right smack dab up front, it said, we're having problems with Skype and cameras. So I decided, okay, I'm not going to go ahead and upgrade because I already have those problems. I don't need to make those things any worse out here. Okay, back to Rich, who was interested in how low will the GDX go out here. So with regard to the GDX, hey, the nice thing is the price is trading below its oscillator and change line. That's 30.94. So that's a beautiful thing. Rich, I will say that your first target should always be the prior swing point. And in the case of the GDX, that's going to take you down to the July 26 area. 27.45 is the low. 28.35 is the high. Now, I don't have my TAS profiles turned on that charting tool. So let's go ahead and move over to this one. And we'll give you some other areas that you'll want to focus on. So in the case of the GDX, and we looked at this yesterday as well, here's what we also know. The GDX, Rich, has been in one heck of a nice rising price channel. And I'll go ahead and I'll turn off the horizontal lines out here for you. That way you can really capture it and get a feel for what it's communicating to you. Now, and that's going back to the lows out here from January the 22nd. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to use look, you're always using the body of the candle, because that is really the true essence of price. Where does something open or close? Doesn't matter whether it's an open or close. The wicks on the candle are nothing but the extreme emotion of that trading session. In this case here, it's a daily chart, so it's the extreme emotion of that trading session. And price channels, price goes up to the top, comes back to the bottom, goes back up to the top, starts heading back towards the bottom. You can see it do this several times out here. So with regard to the GDX, Rich, it hasn't broken down at all. It does give us that bearish connotation because we've seen that price oscillator turn down, but that's really all that we've seen out here. So how far will the GDX head to? Well, it's that swing point. Let's go ahead and put some volume out here that you really want to be benchmarking, and that is that swing point, as I mentioned earlier, July 25th. Now, that has volume of 89 million shares. We're not into it right yet, but as it approaches that 28.35 level, you want to see it do more volume than it's already doing, because today, even today, you've done 23 million shares. Yesterday, a total of 47. So price is moving into a rising price channel in towards a swing point with lighter volume. You want to see that get taken out with volume. Not only that, you want to see price close below that rising price channel. If that's not enough for you, well, then what you want to do is you also want to take a look at the TAS market profiles. Those are going to be other important levels of support, potentially, on the way down. And so the levels that you want to be paying attention to are really going to be 27.86. A close below 27.86, assuming no other profile has established itself. That's where you really start to see a move to the downside. And you might say, well, where? Rich, the easiest thing to do is just take a retracement from low to high. 24.41 would be the next move to the downside if you can take out those levels of support. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A share bull and bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. No real volume inside the market, but nonetheless, we don't do this very often during this show, but we probably should on occasion. Let's go take a peek at the index ETFs out here. Let's start off by taking a look at the QQQ series ETF, about 7.5 million today. Shoot, if we multiply times 2, we get to 15 million shares. Last time that the Qs were up here was with on August the 15th, only about 11 million shares. So, probably similar type volumes out here. Here's what we know about inside of the Q series. We know that price is above its TAS daily profile high. No real failure unless the Qs were able to close back below 117.42 or 117.67 as we speak right now. Inside of the IWM, the Russell 2000, it is above its most recent swing point high on August 15th, which had 22 million shares. Today, you're at 13 million shares, so lighter volume. Nonetheless, you're up and over it. You're above TAS market profile, so price can continue to move higher out here. If we take a look at the SPYs, the SPY, today's candle session is just simply a rising window. It's a gap to the upside. It's bullish. It's trading into testing the August 15th high, which had 49 million shares. We're at 32 million shares, so it seems like more volume than was inside that August 15th level. Doesn't begin to get a bearish connotation until you get below 218.76 out here. That's back inside the TAS box, which it has been trading in for a while. And let's finish it off and take a look at the Dow Diamonds. The Dow Diamonds right now, the week link out here, this found resistance at its weekly TAS market profile. That's up at 186.08. But just really sideways-ish type move out here. Volume today, 1.3 million shares. There's no volume, certainly to the upside. To the downside, yesterday was 3 million shares. So not a ton unfortunately, to be learned here. Maybe this is frustrating for you. Try being on my end out here, because I do like to provide you with extraordinary information and keep you entertained at the same time. Not so easy to do when you've got a market that's doing what it is doing right now. And really the question is, how the Sam heck do we interpret it? Really, that's the and this is even a marketplace that is frustrating for traders out there. I mean, intraday traders out here. So just can't seem to get its engines going. Now, that may not be the same case. So I checked my phone, see if there were any other email requests, because I don't see any other requests inside the den. If there was one, please repost it. My apology for overlooking it and not seeing it. So on the email front, no, it looks up. Wait a minute. Take that back. Take that back. There might be something here. Is there? Yeah, there is. I've got something from, I've got two more that came in. So let's see here. Oh, that one's just from a fan. That was just a photo. Thank you for sending me a photo. I'll take all kinds of photos. And then we've got one JDST. So we spend a lot of time on gold, but nonetheless, a request is a request. So let's just go take a look at the JDST out here. And in this case, this is the junior gold miners as well. I like fans out here. So what can I give you? Really, with regard to JDST, because we took a look at the GDX. So it's really, you got to really watch that rising price channel in GDX. That's what's going to give you the most amount of information. What I can also add to it from a JDST trade would be take a look at the price levels of 491. That is a daily TAS market profile high. You'd like to see price get above that, and then 517, which is also the weekly TAS market profile. Getting above those levels would be good for your trade out there, but really do pay attention to the GDX, the rising price channel that is in out here. All right, thanks. We got Danny and Mike K. Mike K says Valley of the Dutch. You might have asked me about that yesterday, and I didn't get to it. If that is the case, would you please accept my apology? I don't remember looking at it. So I'm hoping for a yes on the apology front out here. But we're going to go take a look at it, see what it is that we can find. I was correct, wasn't I? I did miss it. Sorry about that. In any event, let's go take a look at ticker symbol VALE. Try to figure out what the heck this is doing. Jeez Louise, man, we got lots of sideways action, do we not, out here inside of the marketplace? We just most certainly do. So you got volume today of 12 million shares. Just this sideways move. The range inside of ticker symbol VALE is between about 547, even though it hasn't been down there for a while, to the upside 617. You're trading right now at its daily point of control 586. You've been in it for a while, so you're in at $5. So that looks pretty nice. There's A to B. Let me see here. Let me just give me a second here. I'm going to look on the other chart here, decorate it before I do that live with you. Not that there's any reason to not do live. I got to move it all over and see if I see anything. And the answer is, I just don't see anything else on the other chart. The only thing, you're long on this equity. And so the only thing here, let me pull it over, that I can suggest to you to watch out here in order for this to continue moving higher. Not only do you have the TAS market profiles, but you do have the oscillator and change line, and prices trading below it. It's been trading below it since the trading session here of August 11th. So, for August 23rd. So for quite a while. And you want to see this get above 604. So your next test of the upside, I'm going to say, is going to be the 604 area, because it might change tomorrow. It might be 605, 606. But you want to see it get above that. Now, that would turn the price oscillator up. This price oscillator is above zero, I believe. Give me a moment here. Yeah, it's above zero. Nothing more bullish than a rising price oscillator above zero. So you really want to see that. Then you're going to want to also see, at the same time as it's doing that, you're going to want to see it move higher with about 19 to 25 million shares, way more than you've got going into it as we speak right now. So, Mike, sorry about not getting to it yesterday, but hopefully this helps you today. Since you've been in it for a while, why don't I do this too? Why don't I just take a look at so take a look at the weekly chart, right? Because the weekly might give us some information out here. So uno momento, por favor. Come on, work with us. There we go. I want to turn off those profiles. You don't need that anymore out here. And VALE on my other chart, I want to just change this over to the. Oh, come on, don't do this to me, Windows 10. There we go. Okay, so here when we take a look at valley, V-A-L-E, on the weekly chart, this also gives us a nice piece of information, Mike. And that is the trading session here as the price was moving higher back on the week that began April 18th, 241 million shares. We've been trading into this candle session really for the last couple of months. And all with light volume out here. So here's your real resistance level, since you're in this to the long side, that you need to see this clear. And that is going to be that high of that shooting star from April, the week that began April 18th, 626. So that's a number. If you can get above that, then old resistance ought to become new support. That would be the June 26th level. Of course, if you can get above it with volume, then what that would do, that would go ahead and give you the A to B equals CD to the upside. Shouldn't have taken that ice cube. Sorry about that. Which would give you a price projection of 798. So I hope that helps you out. Okay, great. Let's go to Danny in Atlanta. Was it Danny in Atlanta? Who asked me about where is it? I've lost it. Somebody was asking me about oh, there it is. Danny in Atlanta, the copper contract. So when we get back from this break, Danny, you and I, we're going to go look at the copper contract, NGU6, trading at $2.74 right now. Looks like, well, that's natural gas. It's trading at $2.11. We'll get it straight. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, Swim Lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David Dwight as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back. We've got the Dow up 39 points. S&P is up 7. NASDAQ Composite up 20. Russell is up about 11 points. For Danny in Atlanta, we're going to go take a look at high-grade copper out here. Now, he is flat in the position, and that makes a lot of sense to me as I take a look at the daily chart with you. Here's what we know about high-grade copper. Ever since the trading session here of July 25th, we've seen Stevie's red line. We've seen price close below that. That tells us that that price oscillator turned down. Now, what we didn't know at that time, is that just a retracement? Is that something more than a retracement? Is it some type of correction? Right now, today, Danny, it is just below the zero line. Nothing more bearish than a price oscillator that is falling when it is below zero. So we have that information. Now, what we can do, what we can target, just like with one of our other request when the request was, hey, where's this headed to? Our focus should always be on the previous swing point. That should be our target. That's that 100% move of a move that you learn about maybe for the first time, or you learn about it from hearing Tom, or maybe you learn about it from just simply reading his book, The Art of Timing the Trade, out there. And that 100% move of a move means you're really coming back to the original swing point, in this case here, which would be June the 9th. And we can see a nice little bull sash candle out here on the trading session of June 13th. So we've got support out here at the low of June 10th. That's what you would be focused on. We can also see, and counting from the waves out here, from the high that was most recently formed, which was July 13th, that we're down in wave number 6. So if this is forming some type of bottom, Danny, I'm presuming you're looking at this from some type of a bottoming type pattern out here. Let this thing get to wave number 7, which the earliest that could happen would be this Tuesday. The earliest would be Thursday. The earliest confirmation would be Friday, right? Tomorrow will be an up day, let's say. The next day down, next day up. Yeah, that'd be Friday. Before you could get to wave number 7, you'd really like to see some type of bullish reversal signal out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at not light sweet crude, on copper on the daily chart. If we look at the weekly time frame, let me just do this for you. I meant to do this. Let me turn on our market profiles for you. See what those are on here as well. So price is below all market profiles. So there's another confirming message that neutral to short is the better position when it comes to copper. Let's go switch over to the weekly chart out here. But let me turn off those profiles. We don't need those any longer out here. And on the weekly time frame, the biggest level of support that we've got is right here at this price. I'll put the line across the sand out here. The actual bullish reversal signal that showed up was right here on the week that began May 23rd. So $2.04 becomes your target on a weekly basis for high-grade copper to find support. So, and certainly you got lots of resistance up at these highs out here. Evening Star, this 3-weekly pattern out here, so that really becomes the upside target is about $2.30 out here. So I hope that helps you out. And that's all. I don't see any other emails that requests that have come in. So that's a beautiful thing. I do want to say thank you to everyone who did send in a email request or something, just to makes it easier to do the show. Whether I'm having a conversation with you, voice to voice by calling, or whether it's through IM in the den or through an email, makes it much easier it makes it easier for me. I can't speak on behalf of everybody else, but certainly makes it easier. So, folks, it is a terrific Tuesday. 2 days from now, it'll be terrific Thursday. And you know what that means. That means that our favorite polar bear, David White, he's going to be up next. Then we've got the Tom O'Brien Show from 3 to 5. And then we got Andy Heck to take it on home in the spirit of Dave Mason out there. So hopefully, folks, you got to see Dave Mason perform. And if you haven't, he's still okay to go see, but interestingly, he doesn't like to wear shoes. I don't like to wear shoes either. Hey, folks, have a great Tuesday. We'll see you on Wonderful Wednesday. Take care.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.